Hello there, English speakers, and welcome to Röda Kvarn, the Red Mill. So this is a non-profit cultural fraternity or organization of some kind, and they have an amazing fir here as a Christmas tree. I'm not sure what kind of fir it is, but it's some kind of fir, so it's not a spruce, and it's very impressively decorated, but the city, with all our taxpayer money, they do not reuse the same fir or tree every year. They cut one down and they decorate it as if they were working for the municipality, and it looks not as impressive. We will see it soon. But we will talk about lunacy outside of the cinema here in Ljusdal. But let's start by taking a big, deep traffic breath and leave the traffic. I often think about a story about a taxi driver in Doha, so that's in Qatar, and you do not make much money as a taxi driver in Doha from driving taxi. But this taxi driver, he was a multi-millionaire in dollars, and he was meeting with some venture capitalists that wanted to start a business. But to start a business in Qatar, you need to have some local person that is a citizen to own half of the business. So he was trying to find that, and he said, of course I can help you with that, the taxi driver said. And then it turns out that the taxi driver is a multi-millionaire, and he asked him, why are you driving taxi when you have all this money? And the taxi driver just, what? How do you think I meet my clients? Because I'm driving taxi. So that's why I would like to have maybe a job, maybe not as a taxi driver, but working in a shop or something. You can do something more with that if you don't do it all the time and you do your business also. So worth thinking about, I think. Next Monday thought, if Candace Owens, she did make a little mistake. She got married to an Englishman, and instead she should have gotten married with an East Asian woman, and then she would totally be able to play Hitler 2.0 in Netflix new documentary about Hitler 2.0. And here you see what all my taxpayer money went to. Way more boring Christmas tree outside of the city hall here in Ljusdal. And if you want to be more pissed, they still have a Ukrainian flag here for hideous reasons. They don't even have a flag of the region. I think they have an EU flag and a Swedish flag and Ljusdal flags, which makes sense. By the way, I noticed yesterday, you don't have to say anything, that I were moving my paper in a way that sounded really bad. Excuse me for that. Massey. Some people are saying that Thomas Massey, he should definitely run for president. I don't think so. He needs to fix Congress, and he is the right man to do that. But he would like to have a lot of company with, smart and competent and honest politicians. And those are, unfortunately, like trying to find a unicorn in the Bible. Yes, King James, he did find a lot of unicorns in the Bible, but they turned out to be other animals that they couldn't translate into the English at that time. So, for example, they found very many rhinos, or one at least. Maybe. We don't know exactly what the original meant. But yeah, if you think that you are finding some kind of wonderful Republican, that is honest and competent, and then you just find a Republican in name only. So he can't do that. So what to do? I hope I can push him and his fans to apply this plan. Start to make sure to educate actors, so they are not thinking for themselves, they are just thinking about how to get attention and getting elected. That's their only job, and then they just vote as Thomas Massie wants, and in that way they will of course be promoted by Thomas Massie, and that will give them a huge boost. That is probably even better than getting an endorsement from Trump in the primaries, and then they will maybe win in the final battle. So that's my plan, having Thomas Massie basically alone, having a majority in the House and maybe even in the Senate eventually, and then he will actually use the powers that Congress has but are seldom using, and fix all the procedures that are, well, just sick. For example, the budget process in USA is built by Satan, basically. We have a much better process in Sweden, where, well, there will always be a budget and there will be no problem whatsoever. It's just the question of how they fight it out, but there will be a result eventually, regardless of how many games they try to play. 96% were answering a Massie poll about how Department of Justice is doing when it comes to releasing the Epstein files, and 96% said no, they are not doing it, not transparent, and they're not doing their job. So yeah, 96% is obviously correct there, but to understand that, you should maybe listen to Mike Pence with Z on the end, set on the end. Mike Pence can explain that this Epstein, he was not only involved with Mossad but CIA and MI6, and these people, they will murder everyone who will threaten their business, whatever that is, and they will get to you. They have enough murder power. So the only way to actually solve this problem is either you have to build up something that can murder more and more informed and better than CIA and Mossad combined. So if you think that's a good idea, maybe if you are in charge of it, but otherwise someone else will be in charge of it, and you will have created just a worse problem than you already had. The other possible solution is total surveillance, where you know what everyone is doing and everyone knows what you and CIA are doing about everything. So that will be a very different life for everyone. You have a hard time imagining a life without privacy, and it's very hard to predict how that will look like for us. Maybe it will become heaven, except for that you can't do, things that you don't want public, because everything is public, or a lot more at least. But it might also be a dictatorship of the masses. If you are observed all the time and the majority is thinking that whatever you are doing is bad, well, you will be really oppressed by the masses. So that would be horrible. And how to solve it? Well, it's Monday today. We don't come with solutions. We just enlighten the blind spots, and we'll do something about it some other day. Neural Foundry, a very nice Substack that writes about artificial intelligence and some other stuff. So I recommend that Substack. But Neural Foundry has changed his mind, or her, I think it's a he, about universal basic income. because with the fast pace of artificial intelligence, so he works with this every day, and he noticed that, yeah, it's not helping at the moment, but it is going to change a lot, and it's changing very fast, and soon it can actually improve productivity. At the moment it doesn't, but very soon it can, and then a lot of work will go away. And only if you can complement artificial intelligence. For example, I try to have my unique takes on things and try to find unique information that is not totally unique, but not spread to you yet, hopefully, or repeat and emphasize what is important more than what is not important. So that's what I try to do. Of course, artificial intelligence is already much better than me in most of the ways when I do this. And of course, I use artificial intelligence to ask about things. For example, this morning, about useless information, I saw Keir Starmer yet again being spelled wrong. He's spelled K-E-I-R, not in the other direction. But he's actually not the most commonly misspelled person. Warren Buffett, he's spelling with 2 T's 2 times, and that is spelled wrong even in financial media that should know better. But otherwise, Keir Starmer is usually spelled okay in articles, except one article on Zero Hedge. But in social media, people can't spell that name. There's something wrong with the English brain, I think. So, should we have universal basic income when the society is changing really fast? Maybe it's necessary. On the other hand, when society stops changing so fast because AI is sort of ready or improving less fast and society changes less, why wouldn't AI make it possible to find job for everyone, even if they are pretty useless? You have the smartest AI that is super smart, so of course it should be able to find use for everyone, if that is its goal. We have example from humanity. Sometimes there are, desert or a barren island, and then comes some humans there, and they enable the habitat and make it more livable for plants, for animals, and like beavers are creating habitats for fish, for example. So it is possible, actually, that AI will improve our habitat. It's also, unfortunately, possible that AI, or the ones controlling the AI, or if that's a thing, or if the AI is controlling itself, that it will destroy our habitat, just like humans have done with some animal habitats. So let's talk about the zeitgeist. Mario Nawfal, he has his account on X has 2.7 million followers on the censorship platform X that has banned me for unknown reasons without any warning, and they still charge me money. So on this evil platform, Mario Nawfal, that I really like, he is good at presenting news from all angles, but he says that it's odd, he noticed it, that Lindsey Graham is saying that the next president of USA must support Israel, otherwise they will not become the president. So that's an odd thing to say. You must support Israel, or else you will not get any power. people will start to get pissed, and they will say to, for example, Marco Rubio, what about pissing off to Palestine, and either you reform yourself or you go to hell. That's the options eventually, if you continue to say that, yeah, everyone wants peace, but Hamas. No. Israel has broken the so-called ceasefire 400 times, and they murder 2 Palestinian children every day actively. They are murdering way more by just doing the occupation, the Holocaust, as it is. So no, there will be no peace as long as there is Israel. I reported about Heritage Foundation, their vice president, Countess, and she said that there is no evidence whatsoever that AIPAC exists, or ADL, or any other Jewish supremacy organization. So that was what their vice president said. Now the Heritage Foundation has lost 2 Board of Trustees member. So this board of the Heritage Foundation, they lost 2 of their members because they are pissed that Heritage Foundation is not doing enough to censor and fight for communism. They are saying that they should fight harder against anti-Semitism. So what is the horrible thing that the Heritage Foundation has done? Well, it was Kevin Roberts that thought that it was acceptable that Tucker Carlson was having a talk with Nick Fuentes. And then he did actually excuse himself for being so evil that he let other people talk to each other. But that's not enough. It's never enough for these subhuman, communist, humanity-hating vermin. But they should go. I don't think they were not Jews, as far as I saw on the names. So they are just Shabbos Goyim. So I call them vermin, and that's not an insult. Never use living things as insults is my advice. And I know a few things about insults. Like, for example, if you really want to piss someone off, you call them Ben Shapiro. But vermin and parasites, that's a descriptive what they are doing, if they are, well, vermin or parasites. Just like you can call someone like me a lone wolf. Unfortunately, I'm not networking enough. And you can call people sheep, not as an insult, don't do that. Sheep are very, very nice. But if they always want to follow with the flock, nothing wrong in that, but they are sheep. So that's a descriptive thing. But if you call them worm, snake, dog, that's not nice to worms, snakes and dogs. Don't do that. That's impolite. Instead, if you want to be impolite and insulting without being impolite. Yeah, that makes sense, doesn't it? If you want to be insulting without being impolite, you should use words like imp, demon or devil, because they don't actually exist. So that you can call people. And then these things start to exist because you name people then. So that's a good insult. But someone who hasn't listened enough to me is Ian Carroll. And he is noticing that people are waking up to the snake, Ben Shapiro. You already said Ben Shapiro. Don't insult snakes. Thank you. So that was not his brightest moment. He is still way better than Ben Shapiro, of course. Everyone likes Ian Carroll, unless it's something wrong with you. But what did Ian Carroll say that was good? And he rated Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro posted, "Watch my speech from Turning Point USA." And Ian Carroll just answered, "LOL," laughing out loud with 3 letters. And that was way more popular than the speech from Ben Shapiro that I recommend that you avoid. If you want to have a great name and you're a cardinal in Palestine, you should name yourself Pizzaballa. There is no such better name, and he has balls of steel, if you want to speak English for once. Pizzaballa, the cardinal, he is visiting hospitals and he is fighting hard for the spirit in Gaza and on the West Bank also, I think. So he's impressive, and very impressive name, Pizzaballa. Very good. Not only is Instagram stupid, there are stupid arguments on Substack also. You know this argument that, oh, you are making a nativity scene and therefore you should welcome refugees. But this is another image making fun of saying that people hate refugees. No, we do not hate refugees. That is retarded to do, unless you are, well, worshipping Satan. We do really fear and disgusted by the ones who are, first of all, creating the wars that create the refugees, and then the ones who are bringing people who are often fake refugees to Sweden. Those we hate. We call them Pharisees, or they call themselves Jews, even if they aren't. But I will also remind you, according to the Pharisees, this Jesus, when he grew up, he did become a convicted terrorist, just like Ben Gvir, who is a minister in Israel that we definitely do not want anywhere, Israel included. Hell, he's welcome there, I think. But if you want to do something else, if you are not happy with this nativity scene, you can do something like we do here in Sweden, more heathen Christian traditions, where you have a lot of troll Santas. So there are something in between trolls and Santa Claus, kind of many of them. So that's weird, but we like that. So you can steal Swedish culture. That's totally fine. So instead of doing all these Jewish things like music, porn, drugs, immigration, mass immigration, you should do those, but Swedish. So Swedish music, Swedish porn, Swedish drugs. So out with the opioids and in with the snus. Snus is a tobacco that you put under your lip. Very Swedish. And then you can keep your Maria nativity scene. That's fine. No one cares. But you have to add some elks. Elks are important, as you saw before, for Swedish Christmas. And some trolls. And goats. Goats are important. I think that's Christian also. And reindeers and snow. Also very important, even if we do have very little snow here. So the last two ones you recognize from Jewish movies, with reindeers and snow. So that's appropriation of our culture. But don't worry, even if you are a Jew that steals Swedish traditions because you hate Jesus, that's okay. You are very welcome to steal Swedish culture, because we love that. So here is some snow. You're welcome to steal it and bring it to Sicily or Florida, wherever you are, because we love it. And we love our ambassadors from Japan, because they love Swedish culture and they totally appropriate it. And the last one that we had an even better, maybe. They are equally great ambassadors. So this Japanese ambassador, he ate surströmming. If you know what surströmming is, it's rotten fish. No, literally, it is rotten fish. Fermented fish, and it stinks like rotten fish. Because, did I say it? It's rotten fish. And yeah, he ate it. It went down together with some snaps, which is hard liquor of some kind. But here in Sweden, we do celebrate Catholic New Year. So we use the Gregorian calendar nowadays. So that's weird. We are not a Catholic nation. And now it has at least it's not a Christian week. We have the first day of the week is Moon Day, the lunacy day. We still won that fight, so that's good. I think that people in Latvia and Lithuania, etc., they have Monday, it's named the first day and second day, etc. So convincing them that Monday is the second day of the week, that did not go well. So all these Odin deniers, you can also call them Germans, they call Wednesday, Odin's day, they call it Mittwoch, and that's of course wrong, because Thursday, Thor's day, is in the middle of the week. So now it's Moon Day, that's a lunacy day, and maybe I did promise someone to sing the song. It's En gång I månaden är månen full, men aldrig vi sett honom ramla omkull. So that's a Swedish drinking song about that our moon. He is drunk once in the moon, because, well, full and drunk is the same word in Swedish. So that's very funny. So this is very different from in Latin or Romance languages, where the moon is actually female and she is falling apart all the time. After the first drink, their female moon is not handling the liquor well, I assume. There are no Muslims in the Epstein files. Some people noticed that. And then came a comment on Substack. There are no Israelis either. What? Ehud Barak, he has been accused of violent rape with Epstein. So yeah, there are definitely a lot of Israelis, and Netanyahu was a friend to Netanyahu. So yeah, there are a lot of Israelis there. Next up, they will of course say that there were no Jews involved in the opioid epidemics from China to the Midwest, etc. No Jews involved there, no Jews involved in the banking and laundering the money, and no Jews involved in media. If you believe that, I think you believe that there are no Israelis in the Epstein files. Here in Sweden we have a party leader. We used to have a Thor as the party leader of the Christian Democrats. So that's a little bit weird. Ebba Busch Thor. So she was embracing the heathen Christian values, you would think. But then she divorced Thor. His last name was Thor. And now she is looking not like a Ben Shapiro, but like Giselle Maxwell. She is pro-Israel and thinks that Greta is some sort of terrorist for risking her life. That's dumb. Don't be Ghislaine Maxwell, and do never ever spell your name in that way, and avoid having a father that is a professional blackmailer and liar about the Second World War. I saw a fun meme. If you want to invest in gold, silver, crypto and fiat money, you have different kind of women representing them. And I thought that the silver girl, she was really cute. But I think she costs about 50,000 Swedish crowns, so $5,000. But yeah, if I had those money, I will definitely buy her. The golden girl, she looks a little bit... Yeah, she smells Jew somehow. And I do think I do have a couple of those crypto babe. She looks like a troll. And we have a couple of cute trolls everywhere, as I told you. And if you want to stop a fight, what to do? You sing Cantique de Noël. And if you don't know French, Cantique de Noël, Oh Holy Night. I will not sing that for you because I like you. But yeah, there were some people that happened to be black that behaved in a very black way, and then the rest of the wagon started to sing Cantique de Noël in English. So if you are attacked by an animal or in human or animal form, if you do something really weird, if you fight back or if you flee, they did totally expect that, or if you shout at them. But if you do something really odd, like start singing, they will definitely pause at least for a while, and you might get enough surprise to escape or kill them. So that's my advice. That is lunacy. Have a nice Lunacy Monday.